Welcome to the Mukilteo Football Show. My name is Miles.
My name is Kirk.
And we're previewing. Oh, and Obi-Wan is here. Obi-Wan the dog.
He's looking for those ducks again.
Searching for the ducks. The ever-long quest for the stuffed ducks. We are here to preview the AFC Championship between the Kansas City Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals. Sorry, Obi's going nuts behind us.
He's pumped. He's already ready for the game.
He is. Let's go.
It's like, let's go.
It's a good championship round.
Hell yeah.
After what was somewhat lackluster division round, you were saying before it was really only one game.
Yeah, I mean, Niners-Cowboys was a good game, and I thought Jags-Chiefs was a good game, but, like, usually you get an epic, like, classic, game-winning touchdown kind of thing. Maybe we got spoiled last year. Maybe that's just what it was.
We definitely got spoiled last year. Yeah. I mean, we had the Rams blowing like a 24-point lead to the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady, and then stealing it back. And that was by far the second best game of the day.
Oh, yeah, because the Bills-Chiefs
was that night.
Yeah, that's still probably the best game I've ever watched.
Yeah, so. God, and the Packers-49ers game was so cool. I call that the Debo draw game. It was so great. In the snow at Lambeau Field.
That blocked punt and then the Bengals beating the Titans. Yeah, that was a good round last year. This year, I mean, let's just blame it on the Giants.
We'll blame it on the Giants. I am perfectly okay with that. And the championship round also has a history of duds. My opening question here, since we're talking AFC title game, is what is your favorite or the best AFC championship in history? And going through, there really isn't that many to pick from. There's been a lot of duds in this category.
No kidding. A lot of blowouts. You're expecting a good game, but one team runs away with it. Usually the home team. Mm-hmm. Like I'm thinking Bills Raiders in the 90s, and like it was like 51-3. I mean, just absolutely slaughtered. But if I'm picking the best, I think it was Manning Brady. I think that was 06. And just back and forth, 3 linemen scored touchdowns. It was a wild game. Like Manning went down, it was 21-3, and you just thought, oh, here we go again. Manning can't get over the top, and he just comes roaring back. Joseph Adai with the game winner.
Wow.
Brady throws an interception at the end with like a minute left in the game. He's running the 2-minute drill, throws an interception to Marlon Jackson.
Okay, you remember this game.
There's a name drop. It was a good game. I was into it. I watched it front end, very beginning to the end. I probably rewatched this a couple of times.
Well, we did do it as the Barn series, I guess, in 2020.
Fantastic game, and I love watching Tom Brady choke at the end. It's one of my favorite memories.
One of his rare ones where he could have won the game and didn't.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. But that's my favorite. Peyton finally takes down Brady in the championship, goes and gets himself a ring.
Yeah. Well, I will spare the Cleveland Brown fans and not pick either of their tragic AFC championships in 86 when Elway drove 98 yards to win the game, or in 87. So 86 when Elway did the drive. 87 when the Browns did their own version of the drive, except for theirs ended with a fumble at the 1 yard line.
The fumble.
Called The Fumble by Ernest Biner.
We'll spare you, but we'll bring it up.
We'll spare you, but I'm going to talk about it for some time.
Yeah.
My favorite, I'm going to go actually with the 2018 Patriots versus Chiefs.
Ooh, yeah.
That overtime classic, Brady, Mahomes.
Yeah.
And I think, I love NFL history. I love that the Chiefs have made 5 straight AFC championships after this.
Yeah.
Because the Patriots made 9 AFC championships before that.
Yep.
So if the Chiefs keep going, like we've got this center point.
Of
it'd be like
game,
It'd be like if we had like the 70s Steelers and the 80s 49ers. So we had like a game between them.
Yeah, just meeting
right at the very
that perfect time. Yeah.
So really, we got a Patriot Brady versus Chief Mahomes game in there, and it was a classic.
Overtime.
A couple of blown calls. I thought the Chiefs should have won, but
was that offsides? Was that the Chris Jones offsides?
Chris Jones offsides.
Oh, yeah.
But also there was that 3rd and 10 to Gronk, which was like just one of his great moments of his career. So great game.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Okay.
But, I hate seeing Brady win, so I can't pick it as my best.
Yeah, you pick Brady loss, I pick Brady win. Very on brand. Let's talk about this game a little bit. Mahomes versus Burrow or the headlines. Well, I don't know. Maybe the headline is that Pat Mahomes hurt his ankle. You want to start there?
Yeah, that's probably the headline.
Yeah, let's start there.
Everybody's wondering about how bad that is. It's a high ankle sprain. It's brutal, but the only position you can get away with a high ankle sprain is quarterback.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see. And I agree with you. Tony Pollard could not come back from. Well, actually, he got worse than a high ankle sprain. But people who get high ankle sprains and have to play running back or receiver, they cannot play. I'm kind of curious to see what Andy Reid will do with. Is this just Dan Marino now? Does Pat Mahomes become Dan Marino with this? Because Dan Marino's a statue back there.
Yeah. I mean, we got a pretty good look at it against the Jags. I mean, we got a whole half of it.
Yeah, we did.
And it was very like pocket pass, quick, get it out of your hands, like 5-yard curls to Kelsey. I mean, the Bengals have definitely got a game plan based on that film.
Yeah.
Because, you saw him scramble once and he was hopping on one foot.
Yeah, and he did not want to take that hit.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think he's going to have to stay in the pocket, and that's just not the way he wants to do things. I mean...
Yeah, because he really does move a lot. I was reading that he has the most passing attempts while on the run, in the league. You may not think it's him, but it is him.
I mean, you watch the beginning of that game, and it's him running an option play.
I love that first drive.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way they want to run their offense, with having Mahomes rolling out, doing these misdirections where he rolls out to the opposite side that things are going, or he goes to the strong side. That's out of the playbook now. We're looking at like Alex Smith Chiefs, but with Patrick Mahomes. And that's going to be hard to adjust to in a week.
And Alex Smith was surprisingly mobile too.
Yeah, he was.
I remember he would always sneak up on you. Yeah, this is a huge concern. And Big Lou, the Bengals defense coordinator, they've had success rushing him anyway. So they're 3-0 against him. People say Burrow's beaten Mahomes 3 times. I think Big Lou has beaten Mahomes 3 times.
Big Lou got it
except
done.
for that first half of AFC title game, but. They've pressured him. Hubbard, Hendrickson, B.J. Hill, DJ Reader, that whole Bengals line. DJ Reader, who I call Deej. B.J. Hill, who I call Beej. Big old guys in the middle. Yeah. They already get pressure on Mahomes in 3 pretty recent games. I am really concerned. I know it's not someone's listening like, now I am too.
It's like, geez, I was going to bet on the Chiefs.
But this is bad. I guess the question is, go ahead.
The ankle will be hurt. If anybody thinks he's actually going to be mobile, they're full of it. Like this is a problem. It's not going to go away. It'll still be lingering if they make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think that's a good call out. Anyone saying like, we'll have to see if Mahomes will be 100%. Yeah. He will not be 100%.
Yeah, he can play on one leg, but it's going to have to be a different type of football, which who knows what Andy Reid draws up. Maybe it's not what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
Maybe they just run something better with the receivers and these deep crosses and just get it out of your hands, throw bombs.
That's kind of my hope. I hope Andy Reid has a legacy game here. Yeah. Like, okay, so if the Chiefs win, who's the star of the game?
Oh, Andy Reid.
But I mean, who's the player? Like,
who do
you think it runs through?
Oh man, probably Pacheco.
Yeah, Pacheco,
right? Pacheco, or just a random receiver. I don't think
Kadarius Toney, perhaps.
I don't think it's all going to go through Kelsey. If I'm the Bengals, I'm putting 2 people on him every time. I'm bracketing everything there.
Yeah,
force somebody else to win. So it could be Juju, MVS, Toney. But I think Pacheco. So
I think so. I think we're going to see, if the Chiefs win, I'm envisioning like a Pacheco, like huge rushing yard day. He's got his all-pro center, but they have a great offensive line, the Chiefs do. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
All-pro center, Creed Humphrey, and they have Joe Tooney. They have a good line, especially for running the ball. I just see Pacheco standing with like 2 of his big old guys being interviewed by Pam Oliver and being we took it for 15. We had 15 was on one leg. We had to take this game. Like I could see that.
Oh yeah,
as the Chiefs' path.
That'd be wonderful. Yeah,
that'd be pretty interesting. Joe Burrow would be pissed.
Oh, he'd be pissed, but the Chiefs, I don't know if they're going to commit to the run. I mean, you saw when Chad Henne came in, they're going to run the ball. But with Mahomes still there, I think they're still going to try to get him, 30 to 35 attempts. I mean,
I just think it would be so funny if they did, because Andy Reid, his whole thing with the Eagles was he would never commit to the run.
Yeah.
It would just be perfect. I want that now.
Just for this game.
I want Pacheco and McKinnon. McKinnon's having there's a good duo.
And you can split them. Yeah.
Like, if this was the Seahawks, I think Pacheco and McKinnon would be getting like 15 carries on Sunday.
Yeah. I'm expecting a lot of like quick passes, a lot of runs, and some screens.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the philosophy of how this would work.
And maybe Kelsey can get a touchdown. He's got 14 career playoff touchdowns.
Ooh.
He passed up like a big chunk of guys, including Marcus Allen. He's now at 6 on the all-time leaderboard.
Wow.
He's got no chance at Rice. Rice is 22. Emmitt Smith is 21. Thurman Thomas is 21 as well.
Okay.
But he does have a shot at Gronk. Gronk's at 15.
Okay.
So if Kelsey could tie or pass in this playoff run here.
Be the all-time tight end postseason receiver for touchdowns. Yeah.
He's already historic. It's already happening.
Dude's friggin' awesome. And he's probably, 33, 34 now? I mean, he's older.
Same age as Gronk, but I forget what exactly that is.
Okay.
Early 30s.
Yeah. And it's amazing he's still moving as well as he does. His routes are so complicated. He just moves funny. It's hard to get used to him, like if you haven't played him before, but the Bengals have, so I don't know. I mean, I expect Kelsey to get one. Yeah. At least one. I think he moves funny. The angles are just weird.
Yeah. I agree with you on what is it about Kelsey? It's that you just don't know where he's going.
Yeah.
That one of those first downs he got in that game where he had like 6 yards to run.
Oh yeah.
And you just couldn't tell what way he was going. So no Jaguar just like got a hand on him. It was weird.
There's times he's running. I don't think he knows where he's going. Like
maybe that's the key.
He's just reacting, He's just straight up balling out there. Like he's just like, I'm going up here. Oh God, over there. Oh God,
he's in the zone.
Yeah, he's pulling Barry Sanders stuff at the tight end position. It's great.
Let's go over to the Bengals side of the ball. So it's Mahomes versus Burrow. Big part of this whole ramp up is Burrow is 3-0 against Mahomes. I had the question for you. Do you think Mahomes versus Burrow is the quarterback rivalry for the decade, for the 2020s?
It appears that way. It does. I think so. I think Burrow's legit. Mahomes is legit. Allen hasn't really proven it.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I think in order for this to be a rivalry, though, the Chiefs got to win a game.
Oh, that's a good point. They're 3-0.
They go to 0-4, and I'm just not thinking it's a rivalry. It's a blowout. Bengals got their number.
More of a one-sided thing. Even though Mahomes, he's got 2 MVPs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it starts to become almost like a Bills-Dolphins thing. Marino, clearly the better quarterback, but the Bills keep winning.
Yeah.
It would become more like that. I don't think we're ever going to get a Peyton Brady again.
I don't think so. Not for a while.
My question is basically what's the next Peyton Brady? Maybe there isn't one. You know?
But this is a good rivalry. I mean, back-to-back AFC Championship games against each other. They're building a resume that says, this is going to happen quite often in the playoffs.
The Chiefs just need this so bad. They really do. And it just sucks that his ankle is hurt. I think it's the rivalry of the 2020s. I thought it was going to be Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, because they both won MVPs when they were like 24 years old, back-to-back, 2018 and 2019.
Yep.
But Lamar hasn't really been able to stay on the field. Josh Allen, he started to take the mantle. He's sort of faded back. He could take it back. If we get another epic between Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes next year, then
that's the rivalry.
It's right back with it. So it's kind of in flux right now. It could also be Mitchell Trubisky. If he makes a big comeback, he's in the same draft class as Mahomes.
Oh, man. Keep dreaming. Keep dreaming.
All right. Anyway, the preamble was Bengals. Let's talk Joe Burrow. Great game against the Bills. Absolutely dominated the Bills 27-10, and it should have been more than 27 points.
Really should have, because that chase was a touchdown. Or at least I thought it was.
I thought so too.
They turned it over or whatever. They reviewed it and said no, but I was like, it still looks like he caught it on the replays, but I don't know what they saw that says no, but I didn't see it on any replay that I saw. So.
They pause and they're like, look right there. And I am looking right there. What are you talking about?
He's got it. He's got 2 feet in. What are you talking about? That's a touchdown. I don't get it. But yeah, they absolutely dominated that game from start to finish. Mm-hmm. Coming out scoring 2 touchdowns on your first 2 possessions and then just giving a healthy dose to Joe Mixon.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
100 yards on 20 carries.
Yeah, 20 for 105.
Yeah. And it was just good chunks of yardage every time. Not like some huge ass 40-yard run that kind of blows up the statistics, but just consistently getting 5, 6, 7 yards. Joe Mixon looked like a beast. Yeah. They made the lineman problem be non-existent. Yeah. That was the story going into the game. Bengals have hurt linemen. How are they going to protect Joe Burrow? Will they be able to run the ball? Yeah, they can. They did. Absolutely. They're working it.
Now, how much of that was Bills and how much of it was weather? You know, because it was slushy and snowy.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't. I don't know if I'm willing to just say Bengals offensive line problems are fixed.
I don't think so. But the snow is the great equalizer in the game. But I mean, it goes both ways.
Yeah.
So I mean, I thought Joe Burrow just had a better game plan. He didn't take as many risks as Josh Allen takes, and they just were very balanced. Very, very balanced on offense.
They put together every time that it seemed like the Bills had even a chance. It was a 7-minute drive from the Bengals.
Exactly.
They could have just had 7-minute drives the whole game.
Yeah. We're just going to keep picking up first downs. And it's like, oh, you're covering Chase. We're going to go to Higgins. Oh, you're covering them both. We're going to go to Hurst. You know, I mean, like Hurst has been a nice godsend right here because at the tight end position, he's turning into an X factor in this playoffs.
And you need that because they have to devote the Chiefs are going to have to devote a lot to keep Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Yep.
You need that other guy. And Tyler, hasn't been Tyler Boyd. It's been Hurst. You're right.
It's been Hurst. Boyd I think they'll let Boyd go when his contract's done.
Yeah, he's injured a little bit too. He's playing through it. But so I guess that naturally brings the next question. Do we think the Bengals offensive line is going to play well in Kansas City? And it may snow on Sunday. By the way,
if it snows, I bet the line will love that.
They're good in the snow.
They're good in the snow. They practice outside, so they're the ones that are most used to it than anybody else. So you know, I don't think their offensive line problems are fixed, but I think they know how to manage it because they had 2 seasons of terrible offensive line play with Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow's already seen it. So now he knows how to adapt back. Yeah. When I've got to plug these guys back in, here's what kind of works, and we'll just keep fixing that.
I was also thinking, this is a weird theory, but I was thinking maybe there's sort of like a show one, do one, like teach one sort of philosophy here. Like 15 games, they brought in Lyle Collins, they brought in Alex Kappa, they had Jonah Williams, who was playing okay.
Yeah.
And those guys all played 15 games together in the year, and they showed the backup offensive line how you do it.
Okay.
And now they're coming in and they're just mimicking that. So they had like someone else do the solidification over the course of the season.
Yeah.
I don't know if this makes sense, but I think there's something to it.
No, I agree with that. Yeah. Because you see it on film. Like, you know, this is what we've been running, and they've been watching it in the games. You know, they see that this is what's supposed to happen, and you come in and you try to execute that the best you can.
But you know, the Bills did not have Von Miller.
No.
The Chiefs have Chris Jones.
They got Chris Jones.
So this is
Frank Clark.
Frank Clark. Kazingas? What the heck's that guy's name?
I never know.
Karloftis.
Karloftis. Beautiful.
A name that I should never forget because it is so alliterative.
It's stuck in there now.
It's stuck in there now. The Chiefs' defensive line is better.
Yes. And than the Bills had.
Yeah, and they have a couple of good linebackers in there. And I think the Bills screwed up. What was their game plan? Their game plan was to put 8 flat-footed defenders in like various tic-tac-toe positionings.
Yeah.
And not change that for the entire game. Screw the weather.
There was no adapting the philosophy.
Yeah. Leslie Frazier on the hot seat.
Absolutely.
Especially since that's kind of what they did against the Chiefs in that divisional game.
Yeah.
Though I thought that was more due to exhaustion, but it's clear that the Bills defense, they don't work well under pressure.
Yeah.
They're also down to their 4th string free safety.
Yeah, and that hurts.
Yeah.
But Chiefs, you know, they're pretty healthy on defense.
Yeah.
You know, they got a good defensive line. Their secondary's not terrible. They're a little bit of an underrated unit.
I think Chris Jones crushes this game.
He's just plowing through Aaron Donald style.
I think Chris Jones is playing his bet. He's been in the shadow of Aaron Donald.
Okay.
And this is when he becomes the superstar that he should have been. If Aaron Donald wasn't at the same exact time as him, we would be talking about Chris Jones day and night.
Yeah.
Instead of talking about Aaron Donald like I am day and night.
Yeah.
Annoys the hell out of my wife. She's like, shut up about the 7-time All-Pro Rams defensive tackle Aaron Donald.
I'm tired of it.
And I'll say, in an alternate universe, I'm talking about 7-time All-Pro Chiefs defensive tackle Chris Jones.
Which she also doesn't like.
So, yeah, I think that's good. Okay, we got to get kind of moved towards picking the game here. But before we do, should we touch on what it would be like if Chad Henne plays most of this game?
Ooh.
Is that just a blowout?
Yeah, I think the Bengals would pull away. I think. I just don't see Chad Henne being able to keep up with Burrow's point production.
Yeah. He did lead a 98-yard drive against the Jaguars, though most of that was Isaiah Pacheco. It's like 57 yards of that was run.
Was pretty much a run. Yeah. I don't think they can withstand that for an entire game.
Okay.
And Chad Henne's like 37.
Yeah.
I mean, my odds is I would say he doesn't make it through the game. Right?
Okay. So
I don't want to see that.
All right, let's pick this game. So on Sunday night, the Chiefs were favored by 1.5 with 3 in Vegas.
Okay.
By Monday, the Bengals were favored by 1.5.
Ooh.
Now that is a line move of 3 full points. You got to think that's somebody's inside info about that ankle.
They're worried about that ankle.
Yeah. So there's a rat in there working for the mob and therefore working for Vegas who said, pop that line back a little bit there, buddies.
It's pretty rare to be the underdog at home in a championship game.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Chiefs are 0-3 against Burrow, they lost last year in the championship game. They blew that lead. Mm-hmm. I mean, they are kind of the underdogs. When I hear the narratives, people start talking about it. Like everybody's kind of leaning Bengals.
Yeah,
it's surprising. I mean, this is their the Chiefs' 5th straight AFC championship game.
Yeah,
which is unbelievable. That's a hell of a run.
Hosting their 5th straight.
Yes, but they lose this one. They're 2-3.
Wow,
in those games at home.
Wow.
They can't lose this one. Andy Reid's got to pull something out, man. He's got to pull something out.
I'm really rooting for Andy Reid. I'm thankful that we have I'm glad the Bengals made the Super Bowl, so we don't have to hear Team A has experienced, Team B is hungry analysis.
Yeah.
Like every player in this game has basically played in a recent Super Bowl because we have the 2020 and 2021 Super Bowl participants for the AFC. So we don't have to do that. Who are you picking?
Honestly, I can't go away from the Bengals. I like Joe Burrow.
You've been on Burrow.
I'm a big Burrow fan. I love the way he just handles himself. Gets on the mic after they beat the Bills and says, better get your refunds.
Send those refunds.
Love that.
They hated that.
I know, but it's like, he's not being like super modest like a normal like star QB would be. Like
he's not
trying
the
to be
fake modesty like Baker.
Let's be politically correct and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, no, man, he's just telling it how it is. He's kind of talking some trash. He's having fun winning all these games. And the defense for the Bengals is friggin' awesome. It's really good. They just shut down the Buffalo Bills at 10 points.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I mean, the Bills have been just juggernauting everybody all dang season, and all of a sudden they come out and just shut them down to 10 points at home. I mean, and then you got Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Chase, Mixon, Hurst. I mean, they got the most weapons, I think, in this game. They got the best defense in this game. I think they take them down.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with the Bengals. Bengals defense, absolutely. They are good beyond the ankle injury.
Yeah.
They just get so forgotten because Joe Burrow is such a gravitational pull. Send those refunds is legendary.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry to all you neutral site championship enthusiasts. Joe Burrow's here.
Yep.
But that defense is so good. I rattled off Beej and Deej in the defensive line. They have 2 great linebackers, Wilson and Pratt. They have a great secondary.
Yeah, they got Bates back there holding it down.
Bates was the star of their playoff run last year.
Yeah.
Absolutely critically underrated.
They're making Eli Apple look good.
I know, exactly. And he's going to talk, but he's not that good.
No, but he can feel that good because everybody else is just pulling him up.
It's the coordinating. He's got a good group of guys that are all good on all the levels. And Big Lou Anaromo, brings some special sauce to that. And I just do not see how the Chiefs can overcome that. I am rooting for the Chiefs, however. I am truly rooting for the Chiefs. I want it to be that. I want the Pacheco 200-yard game, this rookie 7th rounder, who would have ever thought?
Oh, yeah.
Type of thing. So, is it Jim Nantz will be announcing this game?
I think so, yeah.
Goodbye, Purdy. Say hello to your newest 7th-round phenom, Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah, I like it.
That's my prediction.
I mean, I like the Chiefs. I'm rooting for them to keep it a game, honestly.
Yeah.
There's a chance the Bengals run away with this thing. I don't know how Patrick Mahomes is going to do on one leg against a defense like the Bengals. He can get away with it against the Jags.
Yeah,
but this is a Super Bowl caliber team that went to the Super Bowl last year. They're hungry. They want to actually win the damn thing, not just go. And I don't know if Mahomes on one foot it worries me. It really worries me. It
is going to be 1 foot. They're trying to gloss over it, paper over. They have Mahomes listed at full practice today.
Yeah,
it's all part of it's all PR, people.
Yeah.
It's all money making. Mahomes woke up today, his ankle feeling better than expected. And people seriously like, oh, good. You don't know what they expected.
Yeah.
You're missing a really key part of that sentence. What if they just, quote unquote, expected his foot to not be there? And then it was there in the morning, so they released the press. Well, it's better than we expected.
Exactly.
Because we expected it to not be there. Like, it's a non-statement.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly what it is. Anybody that's questioning this high ankle sprain, just go sprain your ankle and see how it feels in 2 days.
Exactly.
It's going to be terrible. You're going to call out of work. It's gonna suck. You're not gonna be able to walk right. You can't drive your car. It's a hard injury to get through,
and it's like better right after it happens, right? Like
it feels. It feels okay.
Playing immediately after doesn't mean that it's gonna look exactly like that. It's actually gonna be harder to play after 7 nights.
Exactly right. Thing's going to swell. It's going to start healing, and all it takes is one tiny little tweak to just bring it right back to where it was.
Have you sprained your ankle that way? I know you've got a number of ankles. Have you?
I think I've sprained it every way.
Yeah. The way that he did it with to the outside there.
Yeah. That's the worst one. The inside isn't so bad.
That's common. You just roll your ankle. People roll their ankle all the time.
That's fine, but this one, it's brutal. He's not going to be able to put much weight on it. You can't cut on it. I mean, that thing is going to be stiff. It's basically like he's running around on a peg leg.
All right.
So, I think we're going Bengals.
We're going Bengals.
Because we're worried about the foot, but we also love Big Lou and the Bengals defense.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, even if Mahomes was healthy, I still might be picking the Bengals.
Wow. Yeah.
They got a long road to they got 1.5 Bengals. It's like, I don't know. Yeah. I might have them higher than that.
Me too. I really think if it wasn't Big Lou and the Bengals defense, if this was the Jaguars game all over again, I'd be picking the Chiefs. We're being respectful for the Bengals, I think.
If this was Jags or even Bills, I would say, Chiefs probably got a better shot in this. But Bengals, man, Bengals are legit. If the Chiefs win this, it's an upset in my opinion.
I agree. All right. Well, we will be back tomorrow morning with the NFC title game.
Hey-oh.
Good night.